Good morning, all of you. Now we will see another problem on the Nyquist plot. The problem given is the construct the Nyquist plot for the given open loop transfer function and find the range of k for the stability. So we have to plot the Nyquist plot as well as we have to obtain the stability, the value of k for the stability. The value of k for the stability using the Nyquist plot. So the given open loop transfer function is k into 1 plus s square by s cube. K into 1 plus s whole square by s cube. You can see the poles of this open loop transfer function. Here s cube, only s cube is there, which means 3 poles will exist and all the 3 poles are at the origin only. Only 3 poles will exist and all the 3 poles are at the origin only. If we take the Nyquist contour on the S-plane, then this will be the Nyquist contour. Because all the poles are existed on the origin. So at the origin, we will have an extra curve. Generally, we will have 3 curves, that is C1 curve from 0 to plus infinity, C2 curve. This C2 contour is used to cover all the right half of the S-plane so that any of the root that is lying on the right half of the S-plane will be covered by this Nyquist contour. So that is the reason why we will consider this C2 curve. And the C3 curve is from minus infinity to 0. For each and every open loop transfer function, the generalized Nyquist plot will be this one. If we have any pole at the origin, then this C4 curve will come. And if we have any poles on the positive or negative imaginary axis, then we will also get extra circles with the like C4. So wherever we find any pole on the positive or negative real axis, then we will find an extra, will have an extra contours like C4. Okay. So here only 3 poles are there. All the 3 poles are lying on the origin. That's why we will get extra contour, that is C4. And the remaining contours will be as it is C1, C2, C3 and C4. So total we will have 4 sections. We need to map all these 4 sections like we have done in the same way we have done in the previous problem also. Each and every section wise we have to draw the G of S, H of S plane, and at the last we need to club all the 4 sections to obtain the final G of S, H of S plot, like this plot. Okay, so the first section, which is C1, you can see the C1 section is from 0 to plus infinity, and this is a straight line. So straight line means what we should do, we need to substitute S is equal to J omega. So for section C1, substitute S is equal to J omega in the open loop transfer function. Substitute and simplify. So substituted and simplify it, then we will get minus 2k by omega square as the real term plus j into k into 1 minus omega square by omega cube as the imaginary term. After substituting j omega, we need to simplify and separate the real and imaginary terms. The same we have did in the previous problem also. If you have any doubt, please check the previous problem. Right. So this is the real term and this is the imaginary term. So what we should do here, with the help of imaginary term, we should calculate the omega at the phase crossover point. The phase crossover point means a negative half of the S-plane. In order to determine the stability, we always depends upon this negative half of the S-plane, right? So that's why we need to calculate the omega on the phase crossover. Phase crossover means this is 180-degree line at which point the omega crosses this line. that is phase crossover omega, phase crossover frequency. So for calculating this phase crossover frequency, we have to equate the imaginary term 0. So we need to make this imaginary term 0. Then only we will get phase crossover frequency. And the same thing we have done in the root locus also. Step 6, we have equated the imaginary term equal to 0 for calculating the omega. In the same way, here also, equate this equal to 0. This omega 3 will go right hand side, and 0 into omega cube, 0 will be there. So the final thing will be k into 1 minus omega square. PC is the phase crossover frequency, right? So we are obtaining the phase crossover omega point. From this, bring this k also this side. 0 by anything will become 0. So 1 minus omega p square, then omega pc will be 1 radian per second. Okay. So the value of crossover frequency will be 1 radian per second. Now substitute that value in the g of s h of s domain. However, here the imaginary part is 0, so only we will left with the real part. So 2 into k by omega square. Now substitute the omega as 1 radian per second, so that we will get the expression as minus 2k. So the stability point will be minus 2k. At minus 2k, we will get the stability. Okay. So for this, we need to draw the for section C1, we need to draw the GFS HFS plane. So that's why from this open loop transfer function, we can obtain the magnitude as well as phase angle. So this is the open loop transfer function, substituting j omega. So from this equation, get the magnitude. Of course, we have done the same thing in the polar plot. In the previous video, I directly drawn this curve, but in this video, it is clearly done that magnitude calculation as well as the angle calculation. You can see this is the magnitude and this is the angle, right? Use this magnitude and angle, substitute omega is equal to 0 and omega is equal to infinity, get the magnitude as well as angles. This process, we have done this process for the polar plot cases, introduction of the polar plots and polar plot cases. So the same way, infinity at an angle minus 270. So infinity at an angle of minus 270. So it has to start at minus 270, which is this line. So from infinity it is coming, and when omega is equal to infinity, you'll get the magnitude as 0. So that's why at the end it is reaching the origin at minus 90 degree point. At minus 90 means this line. So that's why we will get this curve for the C1 plane. So for C1 section, the GFS HFS plane will be like this. Right? Now, section C2. So section C2 is this big circle with the radius infinity. Big circle with the radius infinity. So with the infinity radius, the circle is starting from plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. So plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. And it is the circular motion. So that means we need to substitute S is equal to R tends to infinity, R into J theta. So substitute this term for the circular type sections. Okay. So before going to substitute limit R tends to infinity, R into e power J theta, here one approximation is made. That approximation is the format of 1 plus st will be approximated to st. This approximation is made because here you can see R tends to infinity. That means if you substitute R in the place of S, that means this term will become 1 plus infinity. That means what? 1 plus infinity is nothing but infinity, right? So according to that, this 1 plus st is approximated to st. That's why here 1 plus s square is simply approximated to s square only. So the final expression will be k by s. The final g of s h of s will be k by s. Now substitute r into e power j theta here. Limit extends to r into e power j theta here. Now if you substitute infinity in the place of r, the denominator will be k by infinity. So anything by infinity will become 0. So that's why the magnitude is 0, but the angle is e power minus j theta only, because the angle is shifted to numerator. That's why the positive angle become negative. So 0 at an angle of e power minus j theta, right? So the magnitude is 0, but the angle is this one. And the theta for section C2, the theta is starting at plus pi by 2, because this is 90 degrees, plus 90. So that's why plus pi by 2, you can see the direction. Ending at minus pi by 2. So theta at plus pi by 2, if you substitute plus pi by 2, then we will get 0 at an angle of e power minus j minus pi by 2. And similarly, if you substitute minus pi by 2, we will get minus of minus plus here. So that means it is starting at minus pi by 2 and ending at plus pi by 2. So the resultant g of s h of s plane will be having a zero magnitude. Having zero magnitude, because the magnitude here is 0. You can see 0 at minus pi by 2, 0 at plus pi by 2. So the radius of the circle is 0, and it is starting at minus pi by 2 and it is coming or ending at plus pi by 2, right? This is the contour C2, Nyquist contour C2 on S-plane, but this is our attained contour on G of S, H of S plane. So the attained contour is starting at minus pi by 2 with the 0 magnitude and ending at plus pi by 2 with the 0 magnitude only. That's why with the 0 magnitude, we need to draw the same circle from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, the arrow directions you can see. So this is for section C2. Coming to section C3, this section C3 is a straight line. C3 contour curve is a straight line. So you can see this section C3 is coming from minus infinity to 0. Minus infinity to 0. That means what? A straight line which is very similar to the C1 section. But the C1 curve is opposite to C3, because you can see the C3 is coming from minus infinity to 0. So C1 is going from 0 to infinity. So mirror image of C1. C3 is the mirror image of C1. So that's why by doing all these calculations directly, we can draw the graph like this. So skip all this calculation. Directly you can write a statement for C3. For C3, write a statement here that C3 is the mirror image of C1 section. So the graph for the C3 will be, the graph means here the Nyquist plot on the S plane infinity to 0. So this Nyquist plot on the G of S H of S plane will be this direction. For C1 we are getting from top to bottom. For C3 opposite, which is mirror image, right, from bottom to top. So by writing the small sentence, you can skip the complete calculation what we have done in the C1. This entire calculation can be skipped by writing the same sentence. So you can see here, this is the G of S H of S plane. Here, it will be like this. So write that statement and draw the graph. Save the time. So this is for section C3. And coming to section C4, this section C4, you can see the contour of section C4 is this circle. The circle starting at minus pi by 2 and ending at plus pi by 2. So it is starting from here and ending at here with the radius of 0. See, this is a very small circle with a 0 radius. So this is a circle. That means For circle, we need to substitute S is equal to limit R tends to 0, R into e j theta. See, we have only two type of curves. One is straight line, second one is circle. For straight line, substitute S is equal to j omega. For circle, substitute S is equal to limit R tends to 0, R into e power j theta. Okay. So here the approximation is made that 1 plus st become 1. Why? Why, sir? Why? Because here the r is tending to 0. If you substitute this r in the place of s means, here you will get a 0. So 1 plus 0 is nothing but 0. 1 plus 0 is nothing but 1. That's why this 1 plus st is approximated to 1. So the resultant g of s h of s will become, so instead of 1 plus s whole square here, you will get 1 square. 1 square is nothing but 1. So 1 into k is k. So k by, in the denominator directly we are having only s cube, so k by s cube will be the g of s h of s equation. Now substitute in the place of s, limit r tends to 0, r into e power j theta. So 1 by r, so k by r, here r is 0. 0 means anything by 0 will become infinite or infinity. So infinity will be the magnitude, and this is whole cube, right? Whole cube means e power j into 3 theta in the denominator. If you bring that angle to the numerator, it will become e power minus j into 3 theta, minus because we shifted this angle from denominator to numerator, right? And here the theta, you can see generally the C4 curve is starting at minus pi by 2 and ending at pi by 2. This is for S plane, right? So minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. If you substitute minus pi by 2 in the theta, we will get minus of minus plus into 3 into pi by 2. 3 into pi by 2 means plus 270 degree. Plus 270 degree. It has to start at plus 270 degree. And when you substitute pi by 2, we will get minus 3 pi by 2. That means minus 3 pi by 2 means minus 270 degree. So plus 270 and minus 270. Here the difference will be 540 degree because it has to start at a plus 270 degree. So this is plus 270 degree and it has to be minus 270 degree. So plus to minus. And you can see here the magnitude is infinity. That means we need to draw a circle with infinite magnitude, but it has to start at a plus 270. Plus 270 means this line. We know, right? We have seen the polar basics. If anyone have any doubt about the placing of these angles, you can watch that video. So this is minus 90 degree line and also plus 270 degree line. Minus 90 or plus 270. Right? Similarly, this line is also, this is a plus 90 line, plus 90 degree line or minus 270 degree line. Right? So according to our section C3, we have got the infinite magnitude. So we need to draw the circle with infinite magnitude and it has to start at 270. So you can see at 270, we are starting the circle and it has to close at minus 270. Minus 270 means this line. So at minus 270, we are closing the circle. But you can see the difference between these two angles is 540 degree. So that means we need to travel 540 degree. We need to travel 540 degree. So that's why you can see the circle is starting at this point and traveling. Up to this point, we have covered a 360 degree. This is 360 degree point for a complete circle. But we need to cover 540, right? So 360 plus 180. So this is 540. So we have to draw like this. Okay. So this is for section C3. Sorry. Section C4. This is for section C4. Now we have drawn the G of S, H of S planes for the respective S planes of the Nyquist plot. We have done for all the 4 sections. Now we should club all these four sections to obtain the final plot. So this will be the final plot. This will be the final plot of our g of s h of s Nyquist plot. And how this plot has been made, you can see from section C1. So this is the g of s h of s plane. So which is coming from minus infinite to 0. So now mark this curve here, minus infinite to 0. So this is the C1 curve. This one, this curve is the C1 curve. However, this C1 curve is crossing at minus 2k point, right? Because we have calculated this stability point in the mapping of C1 section, which is minus 2k. So that's why that has to cross at a minus 2k point. So mark it on the graph. So the C1 curve is crossing minus 2k point. From minus infinity to 0 it is coming. And C2, what is C2 section? See, this is the C2 section G of S H of S plane. You can see the circle is very small because the radius is 0 and it is starting at this point and ending at this point. So now you can see the C1 is almost need to ends here, but the C2 is starting here. So we have to draw C2 like this. So from here to here. So this will be the C2 curve. Next to C3, which is opposite to the C1. So this is C1. The C3 has to opposite to the C1. So it has to start from 0 to infinity. You can check the directions also. We have got the same directions for the C3 section also. You can see the direction. This is the C3 curve starting from 0 and it is going towards minus infinity. And you can see the directions. So we need to keep the same directions because directions are very much important in the Nyquist plot to determine the stability analysis. Okay, so that's why you can see for C3 curve the direction is starting from 0. From 0 to it is going towards minus infinite. So this is C3. And what about C4? The C4 is starting here, which is at a minus infinity, and it has to make a 540-degree rotation, and it has to close at plus 90, which is minus 270 degree. It has to start at plus 270 and close at minus 270. So club here. So it is starting here. That means the C3 curve is clubbed to C4. Now you can see the 540-degree rotation, and it has reached to the starting point of C1. So it is a circular path. It is a loop. It has to come as a loop because our Nyquist plot, what we have taken for the S-plane is a loop. See, it is starting here and traveling, and it is coming to 0 again. It is starting at 0 and coming to 0. So it is forming a loop. That means our output final G of S H of S plane also needs to form a loop. So it has started here and ends it here. So for the better understanding, I am drawing with the different colors. 4 sections, I'll use 4 colors. So this orange line, I am drawing the orange line as the section C1 curve. So this is the curve of section C1. Next, for section C2, we got this red line with the same directions only. And for the section C, for section C3, we got this blue line. This blue line with the same directions, and with section C4, we got this circular path with the 540-degree angle, like this. So 4 colors, 4 sections. The first color orange is the first section, second color is red, the third color is blue, and fourth color is green. The first color, the starting of this curve is from here, and it has ended at the same point. So it's a loop. So this is the final Nyquist plot on the G of S H of S plane, right? Next, what we have to do is we have to identify the k range, k value range also. So for identifying the k value range, you can see here, this is the minus 2k point. This is the stability point. Okay. So the stability analysis can be made with respect to -1 plus j0. -1 plus j0. Okay. The first condition, if -1 plus j0 point, if k is less than 0.5, if the k value is small, then the -1 plus j0 point will exist here, because this is infinity graph. These circles are with infinity. This is infinity line. This is infinity. Huh? So that means you can see the Nyquist plot, the Nyquist contour is lies between origin to this point. The Nyquist contour is crossing between origin to this point, but it is making clockwise direction. So it is making clockwise direction. The angle is making clockwise. That means what? If it is clockwise direction, then according to the Nyquist stability condition, it won't be stable. It will become unstable system. It will become unstable system, because this is encircled, and it is encircled with the clockwise direction. You can see this point is encircled with the clockwise direction. See this arrow mark. This arrow mark is going towards like this, which is encircled. So within the circle, this point, the stability point lies within the circle. So that's why in the closed loop stability analysis, definitely we will have a pole on the right side of the S-plane. That means this is unstable. When we go k less than 0.5, the system is unstable. So for making the system stability, we must choose the k value greater than 0.5. So greater than 0.5 only. So greater than 0.5 means you can see the point will be lies here, because the k value is high. So the point will come inside the circle. Now you can see the Nyquist contour is crossing the negative axis in between this point and infinite point. This is infinite point, right? So now the Nyquist contour is crossing between this point, which is -1 plus j0 point, and minus infinite point. So between these points, it is crossing, and you can see this is encircled. This point is encircled with this direction, which is anti-clockwise direction. This is anti-clockwise direction. So that means if it is encircled with anti-clockwise direction, then it will be stable according to our Nyquist stability criteria. That means what? So when the k value is greater than 0, then the system will become, the closed loop system will become stable. So in order to get the closed loop system stability, we must choose the k value as greater than 5.